Hey guys, how's it going? Code Unbite here, and welcome to another episode of my Minecraft Let's Play. And I've just done some enchanting, and look what I got. A brand new, well, not quite brand new, but almost new, diamond pickaxe with efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3. That is my favorite combination of enchantments to have on a diamond pickaxe. So yeah, now I'll be able to do some good, fast, efficient, and unbreaking digging. Huh, yeah. And I also did some other enchanting, and I enchanted these two books with kind of medium level enchantments. We got Smite too, not particularly useful, but I did get Fire Protection too, and I am going to put that aside and save it for when we go into the Nether, because it is going to be hugely useful. So, let's see. Ah yes, I've been busy since last episode. Now that we have a cow farm, we have leather and are therefore able to make item frames. So yeah, as you can see, the signs next to our chests are gone, and now they have a more visual interface, which I like. I put two next to each chest, so as you can see, this one contains snow, this one contains sandstone, glass, sand, etc. I also really expanded our chest because they had a couple chests where I was just throwing a bunch of random items in, so now we have chests for mob drops. I have a whole chest for gunpowder because I will be building a hostile mob system. And we got two chests for skeleton drops. And yeah. So, oh yeah, and this chest is for anything that has to do with transportation, which includes ladders. Alright, let's see. So today, we are going to be making a collection room for our iron golem farm. It is going to be complete with a deluxe weakening system so that it does not take forever to kill the iron golems, because right now I have to stand for like a minute at each golem tower and wait for the golems to die, and yeah, it's just a pain in the butt. So we can do better than that. We can use water to move the golems right into our base and have them at only a few hearts of health so that they take just a couple seconds to die, and yeah, we'll be able to collect them all at once. So, pretty cool, I think. Alright guys, so we are outside again, and before we can just jump right in and make a system to collect the iron golems in one place, we have to decide where we want to collect them. And there are a few things that we want to consider. I have kind of my idea for the room was that I'd have it be kind of like I'd have a corridor going off in each direction, you know, north, south, east, and west. There'd be 4 corridors branching out away from my central octagon hub room. And there are a couple things that I need to consider. The first is that we have a witch hut over this way. Mrs. Gulch's house right here. Witches can spawn in this region, and we are going to make a witch farm. And because we have the witch hut over here, I was thinking that the corridor that comes, you know, from our hub, which is over there, in this direction, or I'll face this way, in this direction, the corridor going this direction would lead to most of our hostile mob systems. So we'd have the witch hut, and when we build it, we will have the hostile mob system there, and eventually we'll have a gold farm, you know, for zombie pigmen in the overworld, and we'll also have that in that direction. And the hostile mob system is gonna have to be above ground. Well, not have to be, but I'd like to build it above ground for various reasons. And then the witch hut. So we need to go this way. So I'd kind of like to have the collection area be sort of under this water here. I'll have like an armory. And then the other thing to consider is that we have the zombie dungeon this way. And my plans for that are to build another villager breeding cell somewhat closer. I'd of course have to get rid of the old one because they'd interfere with each other otherwise, and it wouldn't be close enough to interfere with the iron golem farm. So I'd have the infinite villager breeding cell. I'd move it up a bit, and then I'd use the zombie dungeon to turn villagers into zombies and use it to grind experience. And I'd also set up a villager trading strip mall that organizes the villagers into little cells. So over this sort of area here is going to be, oh, let's shoot that skeleton. is going to be used for other stuff. So I don't want to have the armory over here. So I'm thinking that I'm going to have the armory sort of, and of course it's going to be underground. I'm just showing you where it will be above ground. Like, so I think I'd have it over here. And I have a couple options then to transport the golems there. So let's see. Zombie dungeon, let's go to F3. I'm facing north now, so the zombie dungeon is sort of northeast. The mob farm corridor, and I'll have a corridor, and I think I'll also, yeah, I don't know, I'll do some cool stuff. It'll basically be my mob farming corridor. Will kind of come down southwest a bit, and so northeast and southwest, and we want to have the armory kind of between that. So one idea I had is that because golems are mobs, it seems kind of appropriate to maybe have the armory coming off the mob corridor, the mob farming corridor. So that'd be cool. And so I'd have the corridor that goes out this way. They will lead to all our mob farms, and then probably one of the first things on it will be a turn that comes, let's see, that comes east. So I'll have the armory sort of southeast. And unlike building the iron golem farms where you really have to get the location right the first time, I can... Oh, hey, it's a baby ocelot. That's so cute. I can, you know, without too much trouble, move the collection area. It'll involve some removal of glass, but I have silk touch now, so I'll be able to do that. So yeah. Alright guys, so now we're in our base, but we're a bit disoriented. We don't, because we can't really see outside, we don't really know where we said we wanted our corridor to be. Luckily we do know that it needs to go south, so let's go to our handy dandy F3 screen. Alright, this is south. I kind of suspected as much. And let's see. As usual, I like to dig my corridors 4 wide. And so, yeah, I'm going to be digging out this corridor right here. And again, I'll make it... I do want to leave some space between the first room that comes off of the corridor and the start of it, because as I said, I may want to have a cool hidden piston door. So yeah. So now I'm using this efficiency. Ooh, got an abandoned mine shaft here. Okay, well I'm very glad that we encountered this, because for the hostile mob systems that we're going to build, we're going to need to light up as many of these cave systems as possible. And so the fact that we just kind of happened upon one, that's going to be a lot easier. This is a cave system that I won't have to rely on doing random x-rays to find, and then dig to and light up. So this is cool. And of course I am going to block this off, or just make sure that no creepers or anything can come in, because I don't want a creeper to like blow up one of my chests. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I blocked this off with boards, just to show that it's going to be temporary. And I'm going to put a wooden door, and we'll do our trick so zombies can't beat it down. That's just to make sure that mobs can't come into my house, because I really don't want a creeper to blow up anything in here. Because, you know, occasionally I may AFK here to get iron. Although I really don't do much AFK. And let's see. I do have villagers to trade with. It would not be a disaster to lose a diamond pickaxe. But that one, you know, it's efficiency 4 on breaking 3. It's almost brand new. I don't want to lose it. Oh, let's see. I'm going to grab some iron too. And then we're going to go caving to light up this abandoned mine shaft. I figure... let's do it right now. Alright, don't need to bring a whole stack. Because, you know, as I said, it will help us out a lot later on. And let's put away some of the stuff that we don't need. Put away this dirt. God, I love these item frames. And, I always like to bring... yeah, I like to bring logs with me when I go caving. instead of the wood planks, just because, you know, allows me to hold more wood. And I did get my iron fortune pick, so that if we find any ores, we can, you know, really cash in on them. Alright. Let's see. We have enough torches. No. Alright guys, so I ran back and grabbed me some shears so that I can, oh hi Mr. Skeleton, so that I can easily get rid of these cobwebs. If I had been able to get an enchanted book with Silk Touch on it, I'd be able to put Silk Touch on these shears, and Silk Touch shears can allow you to actually get cobwebs, so that's pretty cool. Alright guys, so I did a bunch of caving off camera, and I really managed to light up quite a lot of area, so that's really going to help any mob systems that we make in the future. So, with that done, let's dig out this corridor here. Alright guys, so as you can see, I have dug out this corridor here. And of course there had to be this stupid mine shaft going right through it, but whatever. We'll deal with that, so let's see. I think we'll have the door going into our golem collection room. We'll have it right around here. So let's see. Of course, we have to put in a floor because stupid terrain generator got rid of it when it generated this mine shaft. But whatever. I still haven't really decided what shape I want this collection room to be, so I don't know. And there's another cave somewhere nearby that I haven't lit up yet, so... Oh. There. Alright guys, so I dug out this little room here, and I will of course be making it look all pretty and stuff later on. So yeah, I've marked out here the area where the golems are going to be collected. And I do have a 3x2 area. Yeah, I may have to have this, let's see. Alright, so I'm going to make the frame of this collection chamber. Oops. But I have Silk Touch on this pickaxe, so... See, I'm actually able to pick up the glass, so that's good. I'm going to make it out of glass, and I'm going to use these iron blocks for the frame, because I don't know, I just think it's appropriate. And as I said, I do like how sort of the modern high-tech look that iron blocks have. Let's see. Now I'm only going to have the glass go too high because I do want to have a layer of opaque blocks blocking the golems from getting out, because if you don't have that, they can escape. They can, I mean, glitch out when the game, you know, when you log out and whatnot, so, you know, it's important to have that, so yeah. And golems are, remember, I'm going to have this entrance that'll allow me to go in and get the iron. And I can do that because remember, iron golems are 2 blocks wide. They're basically like a spider, but they're 3 blocks tall. So, yeah. Get rid of that. And I'll have an iron floor for this just because, you know. Alright. So the golems will be trapped, and because they're 3 blocks tall and 2 blocks wide, they won't be able to get out here. So I'll be able to walk in and pick up the iron after they're crushed. And, yeah, it'll be cool. Alright, let's see. What do I want to do now? So, because they are 2 blocks wide, we only need 1 piston to crush them in this contraption, and I have that piston right here. And the crushing piston has to be at head level. if I were to put it, say, 2 blocks up or 1 block up, it wouldn't work. You only suffocate if your head is stuck inside of blocks. You don't suffocate if your feet are stuck inside of blocks. So let's see. So nope, needs to be lower. Yeah, so this one is Silk Touch. I really should have renamed this one to Silk Touch. Alright, so oops, not what I wanted. Where'd it go? Where did you go, you piston? Alright, so this piston will... I hate this. Okay. So I need to temporarily remove these blocks so that I'm on a slightly lower level. That will allow me to... Why was there a gap here? Yep, okay. So, yeah. Cool. Alright. So now, I usually like to use a different type of block for the one that's being pushed by the sticky piston. And I think that I am going to use... Let's see, where did I put them? Ah, it's over here. I am going to use a diamond block. I have never actually made a diamond block in all of the time I've been playing Minecraft. I've just never really seen it necessary. But it's first time for everything, so let's do it. So yeah, we'll crush them with diamonds. That makes sense. You need something harder than diamonds to, it was harder than iron to crush something that's made of iron. So yeah, I think that makes a fair amount of sense. Alright guys, so now we have the piston in place, but we have to do the redstone wiring. And I find this really annoying because redstone wiring often you'll have something that looks nice and it'll force you to make it look, well, less nice. So what I'm going to do is run the redstone wire, for now, just right up here. And what this means is that I will have to have a gap, you know, where there's no glass or anything, and that's a little bit annoying. It kind of makes it not look quite as nice, but you know, whatever. Maybe I'll like, I don't know, run the, make like a ring of iron that goes around the outside. Alright guys, so I finished the Golem collection chamber. And as you can see, I have this ring going around the outside just to hide the redstone wiring. And I made it go all the way around even though there's no redstone over here. Just because, you know, I want the thing to look kind of symmetrical. I know, I'm OCD. But whatever. I did say I was going to try to make things actually look nice in this Let's Play. So yeah, golems will just drop down here, and of course we're going to have to dig a 2x3 shaft going all the way up to the surface for that, but that's alright. We can do that easily enough. And then when we want to collect, we'll just hit this lever, kill them, and pick up their iron. Alright, so next we have to dig this 2x3 shaft. That shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, so next we have to dig this 2x3 shaft. And that should be fairly easy. So what I'm going to do is hit F3 and record the coordinates of this corner here, minus 156, 1118, and minus 157, 1120. So those, if I just remember those 2 points, I will be able to reconstruct this rectangle on the surface. Alright, I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, let's get digging. And of course, I am not digging the block that I'm standing on. I am not doing this. Well, I did it just there for demonstration purposes. But yeah. And there, digging that block was okay because even though I was standing on it, because I could see the block below it. Like see how I can see that there's a block below here and not lava. So when you can see the block that's below the block that you're on, it's okay to dig straight down. Basically, there are two exceptions to the never dig down rule. One is you can see the block that's below the block you're standing on, and two is you placed the blocks. Yep, here we are. Wow, that wasn't as long as I thought it would be. For some reason I thought I was farther up. And the other is when you place the blocks and you haven't made any other changes, and you remember placing them and whatnot. So yeah. Alright, so now we have a shaft that goes from the surface into our collection chamber, and I'm going to go off camera real quick and replace the walls of the shaft with stone brick, just again so that if I'm digging along at some later point and I happen upon it, I will know that it is that I have come across a tunnel that I have dug. So, you know. And again, I just like to do that for any structure that I'm building that is going to be permanent. So, yeah. Let's see, let's grab some jack-o'-lanterns, because I do want to have it lit up. It's not that it's necessary. I mean, there aren't going to be any flat blocks for mobs to spawn on, but, you know, I'm anal, so. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and then I will see you guys when that's done. Alright, guys, so we have our shaft leading down to the collection chamber, and ooh, Golem just fell. So now what we have to do is transport the golems from each of the farms to that single collection point, and that can require a little bit of thought. Alright guys, so I've decided that I'm actually going to make the glass tube that comes up from here before I fully connect that tube. And this is just going to help make sure that I hit the target correctly, because I have had it happen before where I make a long tube and then I realize that, oh, I completely missed, and that's no fun. And the last world I had, I was so eager to get the golem farm finished that I didn't bother with any enchanting system at all until it was like completely done, you know, complete with the transport tubes and whatnot. And I had to break a bunch of glass before I even had silk touch, and that was quite annoying. Didn't even have a good shovel to dig out a sand quarry in the desert with, so I had to rely on I think I was using stone shovels because I made the tubes before I put the villagers in the farm. Yeah, I've been known to be kind of impatient, so yeah. I could have the transport tunnels be underground, but I don't know. I want to do a lot of building underground, so I don't want to have to build around these golem tunnels, so I think I'm going to send them through the air, since... Plus, I don't know, I guess I think it looks cool, see golems moving through the air. Just looks kind of neat, you know? Let's see. So we're going to use water streams to push the golems to where we want them, just like we were using for the villagers. Now I put signs in here temporarily. I'm going to eventually replace these with glass. It's just that I don't want any golems to come in here while we are busy working. So now we put in some water streams like this, and note that they flow out to here. So then we will, of course, like usual, put signs right here to stop it. However, the thing is that iron golems are 2 blocks by 2 blocks wide, so that means that they cannot fit in a 1-block gap, and that means that we do not have to have any sort of stair junction right here. So the golem, because it's wider than 1 block, he will not be able to stand on the dry spot and get stuck. He will always be touching water, and therefore he will you know, he'll be pushed along fine. That greatly simplifies this these golem transport tubes. And now for the corner here, I'm only going to place one source block here. And notice how the water is sort of flowing diagonally, and that's really important. If I were to place two source blocks here the way I usually do for the others, then the golem would keep being pushed until he's out of this water, and then the water would be pushing him this way, but it would not be pushing him to the side, and he would just get stuck on the corner here. So very important that we have the that corner here. And I'm gonna, oops, I don't like to do that. I like to put the signs on the sides of the tube. So I'm going to start the next stream earlier, just because it's pushing diagonally, and I don't really see it necessary to be pushing them diagonally at this point. So then we put the water here, and again we just have that one block gap with the signs, and that's perfectly all right because, you know, as I said, golems are 2 blocks by 2 blocks wide and 3 blocks tall. So yeah, that should be good. And then let's see, then we'll put some signs right here. Sweet. Okay. So then we'll just add some water right here. And we will eventually have a stream here. I'm just temporarily using this as my infinite water source. Okay. So, that is pretty good. Alright guys, so I ran back home and I grabbed me some more supplies. I also slept, so it'd be daytime. So what we're going to do now is make a weakening system. And this is, again, I believe this weakening system was also developed by JL2579. So what we're going to do is put some signs right here, and then we're going to have a lava blade have some lava just floating in the air, and the golems will be pushed through the lava. And you know what? I'm just going to stop the water temporarily because it's really getting annoying. Well, let's use some blocks to do this so that I don't have to place signs for that. So yeah, if we go back here, that should be good enough. So basically, it takes a certain amount of time for an iron golem to be pushed through water. They move at a certain speed. And mobs take damage at a certain rate when they are touching lava. And so therefore, if we since we know how fast they move through water, and we know how much health they have and how quickly they take damage from lava, we can, if we push them through just the right amount of lava, they will be just barely alive once they get through. Now, you could figure this out through experimentation, but JL2579 has already figured out that if you push them through 15 meters of lava, they will have like just a heart or two of health, and then they will be able to, they'll die in like a second when you crush them. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright guys, so I, being the genius that I am, managed to royally confuse myself over a fairly simple issue. So the issue that I was having, to recap, in case I decide to edit out the derpy explanation I gave earlier, is that you need to have a 15-meter long lava blade that the golems are being pushed through. However, because there was this water that's flowing diagonally, I thought that maybe that would make moving the golems at a different speed, and so that would mess up how how long it takes them to go through and result in them being overkilled or something. So I shortened this diagonally flowing water up to here. It's still enough to push the golems around this corner. And so that required me to completely readjust all the water streams that I have. And I've currently blocked off the water streams with glass so that we do not have to deal with them while we are putting in our lava. And so now we have signs going for 15 meters here, and so we're going to have 15 meters of lava suspended in the air. The golems are going to be pushed through that, and that will do just enough damage to bring them down to like 1 or 2 hearts of health. and then they'll only take a second or so to crush once we get them to our collection chamber. Now here's the other thing. You don't have to use only source blocks of lava. You can have if flowing lava blocks will also work. So yeah, I believe I found that you only need like 5 you only need 5 blocks of lava to fill in this whole thing. In fact, you might not even need that much. Okay, so now we have to break this, because otherwise we have to jump and we have our head pushed into lava, which we do not want. Alright guys, so we got this farm connected, and now we're going to do the one that's over here. To connect these two back ones here, I'm simply going to run a golem tube and have it meet up at the back of this tube here, and likewise for the other side. However, there's something that we have to consider carefully when we do this. We have to consider this, and that is that we have to have these. We can't have these two tubes meet up directly. In other words, they can't come together at at the same. Let's see. They can't come together at the same Z value. The reason for that is that the little short tube that I have going into our collection chamber is only 2 blocks wide. And if you try to have 2 golem tubes meet and at a 2-block wide hole, then as I've said before, if a golem comes along on each side at the same time, then they'll meet in the middle, they'll push against each other, and they'll never fall through. The reason we're able to get away with 2-block wide holes in the middle here is because only one golem is able to spawn in these villages at a time. This village does not have 20 villagers, so it cannot support 2 golems at once. Only one golem is able to spawn at a time. That is why it is actually important to make sure not to have 20 or more villagers inside each of these spawning cells, because you could get 2 golems spawning at the same time and jamming your system. However, because this tube is only 2 wide, what we're going to have to do is make it so that they don't come at the same place. For example, this tube comes along with this edge at a Z value of 1122. We're going to have this tube shifted up this way a bit. Like now, up here. Yep, it's working. What was I saying? That distracted me. We're going to have to move it up this way a bit. That's what I'm going to do. I mean, I could have it shifted more this way, but that's just making the system bigger than it needs to be. So I'm going to have it, like, see how this tube, the golems get moved this way a little bit, and then they come out this way. What I'm just going to do is on the other one have the tube just come straight out, right at where the golems drop in. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I'll meet you over there. I think I'm going to sleep first, and then we shall start building it. Alright guys, so I'm at this other golem tower, and I am going to now hook it up to our collection system. So yeah, should be cool. And while I'm doing this, I think I'm going to take the time to talk about a few things that I've been wanting to talk about and haven't really found the time to. Well, first, I'd like to respond to a comment that I received from Eduardo concerning the frequency with which I upload videos. He was wondering whether he was suggesting that it'd be better if I could upload more often, and I have to say I wholeheartedly agree, and that is definitely something I'm going to try to do. I really would like to upload every day, but sometimes, life just gets in the way. I do have a job, and Sometimes they'll call me up unexpectedly to come in to the store and, you know, and zone and whatnot when, you know, unexpectedly, because maybe someone doesn't call in. So that's happened a couple times. But that's not the main reason, because it is a part-time job, so I do have plenty of time outside of it. There are other things that happen too. Sometimes I just get, there's just something that I have to do, and I just put off doing it, and I think, ugh, I don't want to do that. And that's kind of how this was. I didn't really want to have the, to do the golem tube, so I just kept putting it off, you know. And sometimes I'll get ahead of myself, and I'll psych myself up for a project that I want to do in the future, but haven't actually done yet. And I know, that's really dumb. Like, for example, what I was doing, you know, over the last couple days, I was psyching myself up over the witch farm that I want to build, because I saw this really cool design, and I did not know you could do this, but apparently if a mob is standing on an upside down half slab, and the half slab gets pushed by a piston, the mob will glitch through and will basically fall through, which is kind of cool. And mobs can spawn on top of upside down half slabs. So, you know, I didn't know that, and that was getting me really excited, because you know, think of all the cool mob traps that I'll be able to build now. I'll be able to have spawning floors and have an easy way of quickly pushing the mobs off of them. So, yeah. So I don't know, I was psyching myself up for that, and then I want to play Minecraft, but I promised myself that I would not, you know, start the next project until I, you know, really finish this golem farm. And yeah, it's just dumb. I have huge problems with getting way ahead of myself, and sometimes getting overly ambitious, and I kind of did that with this golem farm by making it so ridiculously huge, although I did manage to make myself, you know, finish it once I'd started building those 12 spawning cells. And yeah, I think that's the other thing that happens. There's some projects that just require more off-camera work than others. Like, I'm not going to show me hooking up all of these golem farms to the collection area. And the golem farm in particular, it required the most off-camera work, because after I'd shown how to build one spawning cell, well, I think it would have bored my viewers to death if I showed them how to build, you know, showed me building even one of the others on camera. So then I had to basically go build 11 more of these things off camera. So that was a huge amount of off-camera work. And so that kind of makes it hard for me to upload every day, because I really do want to make sure that when I upload a video, it's interesting and entertaining to watch, and it's not just full of me doing you know, drudge work and whatnot, because I feel that I really will lose viewers. And I've been watching Let's Plays to get an idea of how to do a good job on them, and I've noticed that the Let's Plays that are successful, the person makes frequent edits and only shows the stuff that's interesting, with occasional exceptions. Like right now, I am just doing stuff because I did want to talk about these things. And then on the Let's Plays that are not so successful, the person shows every single thing they're doing, every single cave they explore, you know, every block that they break. And they basically don't edit them. And so I really would like to be, you know, like the former type. So yeah, each episode I do a fair amount of editing. Not as much editing as some YouTubers do, but yeah. So yeah. So Eduardo, don't worry, I am working on it, and as I get better, I'm sure I will be able to get out more uploads. And also, some of the projects that I have coming up, like I think after I get this golem farm done, I'm going to start in on the witch farm, because I really would like to be getting that free redstone and glowstone. These projects that I have coming up are going to require less off-camera work, so I'll be able to get out much more content when I'm doing something like working on a witch farm, as opposed to when I'm working on like a freaking iron golem farm, which is kind of requires a huge amount of off-camera work. Okay, let's see. There's one other thing that I wanted to talk about, and I forgot what it is. Oh, right, yeah. It's something that I'm going to try. I don't know how it's going to work out, but I was thinking of trying like a new little segment, like a mini segment that I'll have, and I'll try to fit one in each episode. And I was going to call the segment Mind Crap, and basically what it would be is I would find something on the Minecraft wiki that is woefully inaccurate, that is just terrible advice, you know, or just outright wrong. And when I found it, and then I'd talk about that and explain why it's wrong, you know, I don't know. I mean, it'd all be in good humor. Like, I do realize, and like, there's a lot of good stuff on the wiki. You should totally browse it, but there's also some advice that's pretty bad. So yeah, let's see. So for today, alright, so yeah, I think right now I'm going to do my first Minecraft segment. And yeah. So let me know in the comments what you think of these, and you know, if you like them, if you hate them, if you think they come across as a bit too snarky for your taste, just let me know. I really appreciate the feedback. So the subject of today's Minecraft, the Minecraft of the day, I'll call it, is something that a little gem that I found on the Things Not to Do page, and I will be providing a link in the description. And it says, "Don't try to kill creepers without a bow." Wait, what? So, yeah. I guess the idea behind that advice is that, hey, creepers explode if they get too close to you, so it's dangerous to kill them without a bow. However, there are a couple things that, there are a couple reasons why I think that advice is absolutely terrible. First of all, it's just out of necessity, you know. Getting a bow requires that you first get some string, that's not too hard, but then that you get a reliable supply of arrows. And that requires that you either set up a method of farming skeletons, like I did, and if you don't have a skeleton dungeon, there are other ways to do it, or that you farm chickens and then mine a lot of gravel until it turns into flint. Because whenever you break a block of gravel, there's a 10% chance it'll turn into flint. And then you can craft arrows 4 at a time. And needless to say, whichever route you take, there are probably going to be at least a couple, and probably more like a few, like 3, 4, 5 nights, where you don't have a bow. And guess what? Creepers are going to spawn on those nights just like they spawn on any other night. And so you really have to deal. So you know, unless you want to have your movement severely hampered by any creepers, you just got to kill them, okay? Like, you just have to kill it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But also, the thing that really makes that advice bad is that creepers aren't hard to kill at all, okay? The only thing that's dangerous about creepers is the surprise factor, and the fact that their attack does do a lot of damage. But creepers are slow, okay? You don't even have to sprint to outrun them. And finally, their attack takes about 1.5 seconds to activate. That's 1.5 seconds for you to take like 2 steps back, at which point either it will cancel its fuse, or if it doesn't cancel its fuse, it will not do lethal damage to you. And yeah, fighting a creeper is pretty simple. If there's one thing that I want you to take away from my Let's Play, all you newer players out there, it's that creepers are pretty easy to fight. In fact, if you just hit them with your sword and then take like 2 steps back, hit them with your sword, take like 2 steps back. Sure, that takes a little bit of practice, but really not that much. Once you get the hang of it, and you can do that pretty quickly, you're pretty much good to go. Oops, had that in the wrong spot. So yeah. And yeah, if you don't believe me, if you've been watching this Let's Play, you should know that creepers really aren't that hard to deal with. I mean, you've seen me kill plenty of creepers with the sword. Like, the only time we've run into problems with creepers is when you don't see them coming. So I'd go so far to... Oh, that startled me. I'd go so far to say that if you see a creeper when it's not like right next to you, you've already won. It's lost. If creeper is seen, jig is up. Game's over for it. You've won. It's lost. You're good to go. So yeah. We are finished, guys! This tube is officially hooked up. Now all 4 golem farms are connected to our in-house collection center. So now we don't even have to go outside to collect our iron. Sweet! Yeah. Alright, let's get out of here. Just make sure that... Oh yeah, it works. It's all good. Water is all flowing properly. Sweet! And I still need to get rid of these ugly dirt things that I use to measure these cells out. Ha! It's been ages since I first started building this golem farm, but we are totally done now. Sweet! Alright. Holy crap, a whole family of ocelots spawned here while I was away. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna tame one of those guys at one point. Alright guys, so I was just running around, lighting up as much of the area as I can in preparation for our next project. And Mrs. Gulch threw a potion of poison at me, and now I'm being chased by spiders, and it's pretty exciting. So we're gonna have to go show Mrs. Gulch what's what, and show her that just because she has a lot of money, she can't just go throwing potions of poison at people. Alright, so I'm just gonna head out to the water before I die. Alright guys, so I've been doing some work on the collection room, and I polished up the corridor that leads to it. This corridor will of course lead to other stuff as well, that's why I went a bit past it. And so yeah, I think I found what I'm going to do with the iron ore. As I've said, I think I'm just going to use it as decoration. In this case, I use it as part of a floor tiling for an iron themed room. And I really like the way it looks. Let me know what you think if you're savvy to making things look good, and you have any tips for me. I would really appreciate it. So I just checked the F3 screen, and there's over 250 iron golems in there. I've just been working for like a couple hours, so yeah. Alright, let's do it guys. Our first harvest in our new collection chamber that is right in our home. Alright. Look at that! And that wasn't even, I didn't even wait that long to collect. Like that was just as I said, like a couple hours, so yeah. And I did not edit any of the time they were being crushed out at all, which I had always done in the past because it would just take forever otherwise. So yeah, 2 hours, almost 2 stacks of iron blocks. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 7, over 77. So yeah, not quite 2 stacks of iron blocks, but pretty dang close in just a couple hours. Of course, I'm going to move the chests in there so that I have all my iron, you know. I need to find something to do with roses because I have way too many. Whew. Alright. So I think I'm going to end the episode right here on account of ours. I'm going to end the episode right here with this successful harvest. And next time, we are going to be setting up a witch farm. So I think it's time we do a project that's a bit smaller, and I want some free redstone because I have a lot right now, but yeah, I'm going to go through this quite quickly. Some of the bigger projects I have planned, like the gold farm I want to do. So yeah, going to get a witch farm. I'm going to get some free redstone, free glowstone, and yeah. Peace out, guys. Please rate, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. See you next time.